Hey guys, this is Zoya, the Russian Korean. And today I'm gonna discuss the big news. Turns out they actually came out 8 days ago. How did I not know this? But anyway, Teamfight Tactics is changing forever once again. Because Season 2, Rise of the Elements, is officially gonna be gone mid-March. And a new season is gonna come in, and that is going to be TFT Galaxies. So the place where I first saw this was actually on Reddit, and they only posted it recently. That's probably why I didn't know about it beforehand. But it's better late than never, right? So I would just like to kind of go through the article that they released on the North American website, legallegends.com, and just read through, and see what's going to go on. All right, let's begin. Introducing TFT Galaxies. A new set is on the horizon. All right, great. Next month, we'll be saying a fond farewell to Teamfight Tactics Rise of the Elements and giving a warm welcome to Teamfight Tactics Galaxies. Let's just say fond farewell. It's going to be a very emotional farewell because Rise of the Elements was pretty fun. The new set places you in the midst of a League universe spanning intergalactic war, bringing new champions, traits, skins, boards, little legends, and a new set-wide mechanic. That's exciting. Especially the little legend thing here. Today we're starting with a new set mechanic for TFT Galaxy. Okay, but first, let's talk about elemental hexes. Sure. Before we get there, though, let's talk about elemental. We added a set mechanic to Rise of the Elements because we wanted to increase replayability and variance to every game and force players to continuously adapt the way they played. We hoped that dealing with a different core element every game meant that the same composition wasn't always going to be the best option. That is very true, actually, yeah. I wouldn't say that it was necessarily because of the hexes, though. I feel like hexes helped, or made it a little different, but not too drastically different. Additionally, with hexes being in different spots each game, it wouldn't always be clear the best way to utilize them. Overall, we're happy with how the elemental hex system turned out, especially with the way Kiana integrates with the system and the way it allows for new builds across games. Ocean games allow for quicker spell casts and Shojin states. Cloud games give spellcasters a slight edge, and Inferno games are more explosive than normal. Every game feels a little bit different, which is what we wanted. That is true, and I think that's the fun part of the TFT experience in general. That being said, it's not perfect. I was waiting for this line. And we're definitely taking a few learnings going forward. The first one is clarity issues. The hexes use the item system, and while we intended for that to be an interesting strategic trade-off, it's also very unclear, especially for new players, what benefits your champions are getting. That's very true. I was so confused in the beginning. It took me a long time to figure things out. I actually had to Google things to get explanations because in-game it just wasn't clear enough. We were also a bit conservative with the hex's power level. There's such a light touch to the game that it's often ideal to simply ignore the mechanic for better positioning. Ideally, game mechanics with that level of visibility and mindshare require you to interact with them in clever ways. Elemental hexes aren't quite hitting that bar right now. Agree. Elemental hexes will be leaving TFT with Rise of the Elements and will be moving forward with a new set mechanic for Galaxies. Okay. So what is the new set? We're calling the set mechanic for Teamfight Tactics Galaxies, Galaxies. Wow, didn't see that coming. Yes, we're very creative. Here's how it works. In addition to games with normal rule sets, some games of TFT will take you to a different galaxy where the rules are just a bit different. Interesting. So, your stage is going to be a galaxy or what? For example, one galaxy you might travel to is the Nicoverse galaxy, where everyone starts with... okay, so it's a little different from what I thought. With 2 Nikos help items ready to go, with everyone having this advantage, it becomes about making strategic decisions around when and how to use those Nikos. Nikos help is always tricky because, I'm always do I use it? Do I not use it? And I would say 50% of the time, I don't use it well because I wait too long. And then by the time that it could have been useful before, it's no longer useful. May I draw your attention to this picture right here? How is she twisting her body like this? Just saying. Another galaxy you might travel to is the 4-cost Carousel Galaxy. The name is a work in progress. Yeah, right. where the first carousel is entirely 4-cost champions. The 4-cost with the right component is strong from the start, but 4 additional gold could enable multiple 2-star champions right out of the gate. You won't know which galaxy you're playing it in until the game starts, so your ability to adapt is going to be put to the test. And there's one more thing. New galaxies will open up gradually as the set goes on. Okay, so at launch you're very likely to have a normal game as only 1 or 2 galaxies will be active, but by the end of the set there may be as many as 10 different galaxies, and some may go away as well. I like this. I like the fact that they are spicing it up, making it a lot more unpredictable. Because, you know, where you're like losing to Ocean Mage for like 100th time, it's like, why though? We had a few goals for galaxies. First, we wanted something that increased variance and required more adaptability. TFT is at its best when you can't just look up a guide and know the best way to play, but rather have to adapt to what's going on in the game. So coming up with a set mechanic that made that happen was important. Okay. So yada. What I want to know is, what are the champions going to be? Like, what's it going to look like? What are the skins? Tell me. And actually, there is another article. It came out on February 26th. Wait, is that today? Is that today? Is today the 26th? No, that's yesterday. Today's the 27th. At least here in Korea, it's the 27th. New traits, origins, champions revealed for Teamfight Tactics Galaxies. Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Saya and Rakan. Okay. Saya has found her way into Teamfight Tactics. What do you know? And of course, they're using the galaxy-looking skins. I'm not very familiar with different skins, by the way, so it's still like a new world for me. I just haven't really explored character skins that very much, so this is going to be interesting. Last week, Riot Games introduced Teamfight Tactics Galaxies. Yes, that's the article that we just went over. So let's look at some of the details here. I like changes. Let's see what this is going to be. Star Guardians. Zoe? Zoya? Zoe? Zoe is here to burst the bubble of anyone who looks to take advantage of her size. I guess that's her galactic skin? I'm not sure, actually. By the way, I do own Zoe. I did get her with the blue essence that I got. Just because she's Zoe and I'm Zoya. My rationale behind things is actually very simple. My goodness, these ads on the right. I don't even want to look. The first team composition that Riot is adding to set 3 is Star Guardian. According to the development team, it uses all 6 of the Star Guardians as a base, and then they can expand into a few different compositions. Okay. So like Zoe is one of the Star Guardians. Okay. The trait gives mana to all the Star Guardians each time one of them casts a spell, putting an emphasis on protecting them until such time. It's kind of like Ocean, a little bit. Whenever a Star Guardian casts their spell, distribute 20 mana, 30 mana. So 20 mana for 3 champions, 30 mana for 6 champions, among all the other Star Guardians. The following champions will appear in set 3 and act as the core of the Star Guardian trait. Poppy. Tanky frontliner. Zoe, Ari, Nico, Syndra, Soraka. So Soraka and Nico are now going to be Star Guardians. Okay, that will take some getting used to. Syndra too. And then they're gonna add Ari, Zoe, and Poppy. Oh, look at that. Annie? The above composition includes Annie, who acts as a mech pilot sorcerer and rounds out this build. Okay, well, I guess if you add her, she's kind of like the Lux avatar thing. Maybe? Is that what they're trying to say? The title's development team has thought long and hard about what makes a healthy, strong, and stable team composition, and has 2 sets worth of anecdotal and internal information that they are using to make Star Guardian just that. Okay, sure. The following statements come straight from the developers themselves. I just realized I'm not reading the actual official League of Legends thing. I'm reading something from inventglobal.com. Blah, 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 blah. We will save that for later. What's next? Cybernetic. Kale is back for set 3. And this time, she's a Valkyrie. Okay. Well, looks pretty cool. For the third set in a row, Blade Masters are back. Ooh, I like Blade Masters. Is Yasuo still gonna be there? Master E. Blade Masters are back and feature some returning champions as well as some new ones to keep the trait fresh. A new trait, however, Cybernetic, encourages players to spread the wealth and equip as many champions as possible with items opposed to just stacking hyper carry with 3. That's kind of what I like to do. Trait effect. Cybernetic champions with an item equipped gain per 3 champions 300 health and 30 attack damage, or for 6 champions 800 health and 80 attack damage. So of course you're gonna have to have 6 for, the maximum benefit. But the following 3 champions are Cybernetic, but require a few more unknown units to max out the trait's bonus. Leona, Fiora, Irelia. That makes sense. Blade Master, Irelia. Blade Masters have a 25% or 50% chance on hit to attack 2 extra times. Saya, Shen, Yasuo, Kayle. So Yasuo is here. So I guess bye-bye Master E, bye-bye Sivir, bye-bye Aatrox. Look at that. Yasuo is going to be in the new skin. Nice. Picture's kind of dark. An example composition that features 6 Blade Masters and 3 Cybernetics. For the team composition above, the game's developers wanted to shed light on what makes this septet just as deadly as they look. Septet? I don't know. Septima? In Russian would say Septima. A comp that's all about empowering Irelia to be a massive carry. Kind of like Vayne in Light. Cybernetic gives health and attack damage if the champ has at least 1 item on them. You can put items on Leona and Fiora to power them up and keep them useful all game, and then in the late game, load up Irelia to be your major item carrier. Okay. Backed up by 6 Blade Master, yes, it's back with some slight adjustments. She'll be a monster. Cybernetic opens up a new option that we haven't seen before in that you need to spread out your items to maximize the benefit. The trait itself is very strong if you're willing to put 1 item on each champion, so it becomes a fun puzzle to figure out which items get you the best return. Mech Pilot. Oh, Rumble! Rumble acts as one piece of a much, much scarier threat. I didn't know there was a skin like this for Rumble. If you watch the Power Rangers growing up, or even now, you'll know that when times are getting tough, the team jumps into their mechs and transforms into the Megazord to finish off the baddies. Yes, that's how you solve problems. Now imagine that, but in Teamfight Tactics. They're really trying to sell this to me right now. At the start of combat, 3 Mech Pilot champions are merged into a Super Mech until it dies. Here's a trio that makes up the Mech Pilots. So it's kind of similar to Woodland Druid, but the effect of having the 3 is a little different. Very different, actually. Annie, Rumble, Fizz. Annie is a Mech Pilot? Interesting. I mean, Rumble and Fizz make sense. In the team composition Riot shows below, Demolitionist and Sorcerer are revealed as well. Ziggs, Tier 1, Rebel, okay. Demolitionist spells stun for 2.5 seconds. Kind of like glacial stuff. Sorcerer, all allies gain 2, 4, 6, so 15%, 40%, and then 120% increased spell power. Yeah, that's basically just a renamed mage. Zoe, Ari, Syndra. So Syndra is still in the mage sorcerer category. Interesting looking. Everything is kind of like a darker purple blue color. I kind of like that in set 2 there was a lot of vibrancy in terms of colors. So I hope this one's not just going to be monotone because it's going to get tired to look at. It's going to get tiring to look at. With this comp, Annie, Rumble, and Fizz combine together into a super mech. This big tanky mech shares traits and stats from the pilots, so the higher star level they are, the stronger your mech. Like Annie's bear, I guess. The super mech can also use up to 3 items, which makes for an interesting puzzle on how you itemize it. Okay. Then by including 4 sorcerers, your mech gains plus 40% spell power, and when your mech casts his giant AoE spell, it stuns everything it hits for 2.5 seconds. Let's see how many people go for that. Why it works. From a thematic standpoint, we're really excited to see a giant mech and the destruction it can cause. From a gameplay standpoint, we're really excited to be able to see a giant mech and the destruction it can cause. Did they just copy and paste that one? It'll also be fun to see which items and traits synergize best with the mech. Its spell is really big, but it's also susceptible to CC. All the different possibilities should lead to some really cool highlights. I'm excited. I think it's a big change, and I'm excited to see how I'm gonna do with this big change, and how I'm gonna do this season. So far, just by looking at it, I think I'm excited about Irelia, Zoe, Saya, but the important question that still remains on my mind, and we all know what this important question is. The question is, where is Zed? Where is Zed? Why are they not talking about Zed anywhere? I mean, I know that this is just a partial reveal, so maybe Zed is somewhere out there, but they better leave him in there. Right, you better keep Zed in the game. I want Zed in Teamfight Tactics. If not, I will be sorely disappointed and very sad, and I'm gonna have to pick a new favorite character in Teamfight Tactics because he also has a really cool mecha kind of skin, right? I think. So, like, he fits perfectly. Just put him in there, please. Just keep him there. In return for Zed, I'm going to play the game. Alright guys, well, what do you think about this update? What are you most excited about? What do you think is going to work the best? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. This was Zoe, the Russian Korean. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.